Okay, testing, testing. Okay, it's working. Okay, that's working. That's working. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Uh, this is October the 6th, Thursday morning. Um, so we are ready to basically been nothing going on in the market. You're looking at the Nvidia stock. Make sure my stream is set up to the right page. Yeah, no, no, it's not. So let me just switch over my stream. Okay, that's the right one. Okay, so let's get started. Looking at the markets this morning, not a whole much news. I listened to the Supreme Court, the questions they were asking. The questions they were asking there were a lot, and they do not believe what Donald Trump is doing is the right thing by using the powers to put tariffs on. And the decision, what I think they're trying to say is we don't like this, but we may give him time to sort it out before they totally tell him, hey, your tariffs are not this is what I said yesterday morning, and that's pretty much the theme I'm getting out of these all of the justices, and they're all saying basically this is tax on the American people, and which it is. It is a tax on the American people. Who are paying these tariffs? The American people are paying it, and that much. And they clearly also said the tariffs are under the control of the Congress. Congress is supposed to let the president, they can give him permission to do it, which they never did, right? So there are certain powers that Congress has, they can pass on to the president, but they again need 60 votes, 60% votes to do that. And they don't have that. That's probably the reason they never did that in the first place. Okay, so it's the same problem that they're having now because of the government shutdown. So the government shutdown is now about 35, 36 days, over a month now. And that is going to start affecting the GDP numbers. It's going to start affecting the unemployment number, inflation numbers. What are they going to look like when they come out next month, whenever the government shutdown is over? And it is putting a lot of pressure on the Republicans now that they need to get this government back going in the background, especially after the election win on Tuesday. Look at the big deal win, the mayoral race in New York City and all the other places where there were elections going on. They won. They were all won by the Democrats, and they were won by large volume. So Donald Trump had a meeting apparently with all the Republicans, and they know it's hurting them big time, this shutdown, and they want somehow to get this over with very soon. So how are they going to get over with? They're going to have to, get 5 or 6 Democrat Senate votes, or the only way to do them is bribe them. Okay, that's what I think is going to happen. They're going to try bribing 5, 6 of the Senate Democrats, but we'll see what happens. Politics is going on behind the doors. Also, the big decision this morning, Bank of England made a rate decision. It held on to the rates. They're saying the inflation is still strong above 3.5%. So that's why they're holding on to the rates. They're sitting at 4%. The American rates are sitting at 4%. The Canadian rates are about around 2.5%. I'm talking about the Bank of Canada rates, much higher at the bank level. So let's take a look at what's happening with the ES futures this morning. 6804. This is a key area. It has bounced. It bounced back and closed up above. On just right above 6804. It's happening today. Again, overnight, the tail came right to 6804, bounced right back to the upside. So if we get below 6804, next level is 6754. It'll come down very quickly, and from there 6704, 54 above, below that we can come a long way. So what's happening right now overall with the market and interest rates and the decision? When is this decision coming out from the Supreme Court? Well, they can take it up to next June. Okay, officially, really, the way if they were to, if they wanted to release this report, they don't have to till next June. But I don't think that's going to happen because what this they listen to this argument early do under emergency situation, and I'm sure they're going to provide an answer under emergency situation. When will they come up with it? I think they will sometimes next week. I think we will hear from them. So today is Thursday and Friday. I think they're gonna mull it over the weekend. They're gonna all of them may sit together or have an individual decision. They will have it made by next week. I think by next Wednesday or Thursday, we will hear. But like I said, they don't have to say anything till June of next year. Okay, so let's see what they say and what decision. But like I said, what they're going to say is they're going to slap Donald Trump on the wrist and say, "Listen, you what you have done in place is start taking it off slowly. Okay, you can keep the money that you already collected, right? That may happen, and then they're gonna say, okay, then you let the Congress control the tariff from here on, or you get permission from them." And that's what I think the decision is gonna happen. If in case they come back and they ask this question, I believe one of the justices yesterday asked this question: what happens if they had to pay back all these taxes? And the council replied pretty much saying this could cause a problem, right? So we know I know it's going to cause a problem because he already spent the $1 trillion that he's going to have to. So where is he going to get that money? He's going to print it, right? If it's going to print it, the yields on the 10 years are going to go up. The stock market's going to go to the downside, and we're going to get assets that are overpriced. Okay, so that is what likely to happen. Asset, what I mean is the market initially will go down, but eventually the markets will go back up. Why? Because all that $1 trillion will come back into the market somewhere, and you will get more overpriced asset. Will get overpriced stocks. Okay, so that what may happen. Initial will be a drop because it will be a negative for Donald Trump. Okay, so am I so far clear on what direction or where are we going in the next little while on the stock market? So please, if anybody has a question what I'm talking about, or if you know something, I would love to hear for your opinion as well. Okay, so anyway, that's what's going on this morning. ES is sitting at 14 points higher, 68.39. Nasdaq is sitting 62 points up, 25,807. Okay, so let's take a look. Like I said, this is where the ES is going. What about the NQ? The Nasdaq. Nasdaq has a lot of negativity as well into it right now. You got the Chinese saying they don't want to use the Blackwell chips. They don't want any American chips used in the government computers. So that Chinese has a much more control than the Americans. American is a free capitalism, right? In China, they control their things pretty well. So that's why I really do believe this chip here is gonna hurt to the downside. And also, if you listen to Jensen, the Nvidia CEO lately, he's been really touting that the Chinese AI is going to be much stronger than the American ones because they're spending a lot of time and money on it as well, which I do believe. I think if the way the Chinese are going at it, I think they will come up with a pretty good and better maybe on AI. But the Chinese basically has told Jensen to shut up. Don't start advertising them because he goes down to China pretty much and he knows what's going on in China. So they don't want all that information going to the US from him. So they told him to pretty much calm it down that what the Chinese are doing. So I do believe China is also strong on AI and stuff, and they're coming with better and better. So that's what's putting pressure on right now on the Nasdaq, AMD, and you look at Nvidia and all, and Micron and all these stocks are gonna, are a little bit to the downside, and that you can see the market from the top has come down. I'm really looking at 24,625. If you can get below here, we can come on down on the market pretty quick. But as long as we stay here, just stay pretty much kind of not completely risk on, but just watch it. Watch this thing here come towards this line here. Okay. So let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is sitting up there. It's the same thing. It's following the rest of the market. It's only got 30 stocks, and it's gonna nothing really stands out other than 30 stocks that are the biggest stocks. IWM does stand out. It was up $3.48 yesterday, and it again we're waiting for the big decision on interest rates. And why? Because also we can see the 10-year is climbing to the upside. That is suggesting they should pick up the interest rate to the upside. We know it's not going to happen. We know that they're going to give us at least a quarter point cut. So I think at a point this should be a buy. It should have bought it, yesterday here. It could have been a swing trade, but even today, I think it's a buy. It will get above here, at least a couple of bucks. What about oil? What's going on with oil? We talked about the oil whole last week, what was going on with it. Right now, oil is not doing anything other than hopefully come down to the $55 range again here. Test it. Economy is not doing that well. Nobody's using oil that much. The Russian and the Indians have settled down pretty much buying oil there. So it's kind of swarmed the price to the downside. And again, I think it will come down to $55 range on it, unless something happens geopolitically in the Middle East. This thing is coming down to 55, and I think that's good for us, good for the consumer. Yesterday we saw the inventory come out. It actually went up by 5 million barrels. Today we get the natural gas inventories at 10:30 or 10 o'clock. We will get those inventories. We'll take a look at the calendar in a minute to see what time that is coming out. So natural gas will be in play today. Okay, before we get natural gas, let's have a look at the gold prices. Gold prices have been hanging around this area. This is a bearish flag to the downside. What happens to the bearish flags? They usually break to the downside. So I'm not going to speculate how strong this thing is going to break to the downside, if at all this is going to break down. Because remember, I still think gold is a risk on trade that is still going to continue to the upside, just a matter of time where it's going to stop. But be careful around this range here when it comes to around 3,900. If it gets 3,900, I would be short, and you're going to make tons of money right below 3,900. It's going to drop pretty quick to maybe 3,800. And that would make really, especially on a futures contract, you'll make tons of money on that. So keep a close eye on it. Up for opportunity. So the first opportunity is if the price gets below 39.25. The second opportunity will be 3,900. So keep a close eye range on this one to the short side. So this is where you actually will make money. This is where your trades are. So this is when we talk about the market in the morning, I'm pretty much giving you a hint where you can trade this market, right? On the upside on gold is we're looking above here around 40.60. Okay, if we get 40.60, then the target comes to up to here around 41.75. Okay, I don't think the upside is there yet. I know the gold is up $29-30 so far this morning. I don't think the upside there. There's no nothing really coming out. We'll take a look at the forex calendar in a minute, but I don't think there's anything coming out that's really going to move the market of gold either direction. Why? Because VIX, if you look at the VIX is kind of calmed down a lot, and it's still tracking go towards it. As long as this thing goes to the downside, I think gold, looking at everything else in the market, it's going to be pretty calm. So watch for this to start lifting back to the upside for any type of hint. What will happen in the market is when we're looking at this, the VIX. The next one I want to talk about, the 10-year. 10-year has been incredibly going to the upside. Why? This has more to do with the tariffs. What if they had to print money? If they have to print money, this thing will be at 5%. I'm pretty sure this thing is going to run right to 5% if they have to print money. Because why? Because everybody will say, listen, I want more. If I'm going to take more US dollars, I want more interest on my money because I'm taking more risk. Okay, and that's why this yield is going to go to the upside. Okay, on the 10-year. And what happened to the dollar index? Dollar index is cooling down a little bit. There's a little bit of a negative candle there, indecision candle, And what happened? Where would I go short on this indecision candle? Anybody know? We talked about this already. If you had an indecision candle, it's a reversal or something going the other way. Where would I go short on this one? If the price came below this here, right there. That's where I would be short. So if you did go and somebody goes short on there, you can make a pretty good money on it, right? So that's what you're looking for when you're looking at those candles. We had a class. Anybody that hasn't watched that class on candles, it is in the YouTube channel. Go there and watch it. It really is helpful. Where you gonna see reversals in the in this here in the charts. Okay. That is the dollar index. Take a look at the what else is happening. The triple Q SPY puts and call ratios. Both the SPY and the triple Qs went towards the call side, and IWM also went very strong towards the call side. So all three of them are indicating that the market is going to the upside today. Okay, so all three of them. So far, the market is up. The Dow, not the Dow, the NQ and the ES both are green right now. Even the IWM is green. All the market participants are pretty much green to the upside. So that's where all of them are sitting. Bitcoin bounced off a little bit from the bottom here at just below 98K here. I still think this is a negative for Bitcoin. Ever since they announced that we're not going to be doing another quarter point, but I think they are. But eventually, when they do cut, I think this goes to the downside. Plus, if they print $1 trillion, you will see a lot of money come into the Bitcoin as well. But it's when liquidity happens. So again, guys, I know a lot of you guys hold MSTR. I'm keep saying every single day. And my first thing is to not to get you guys in trouble, and you gotta stay away from trouble. This is a trouble stock. Okay, if Bitcoin goes to the downside further, this thing will go close to 200. Look at this ugly looking chart. Okay, and I do believe this is a pretty strong support around 230, 225. If it breaks that, it's 200, and if it goes under that, it could be. And even if the Bitcoin goes up, even a little bit, it's not going to help this stock. Why? Because they've still they're incurring this debt. Okay, they're incurring this debt, and nobody's gonna, they have a, what do you call those? They have a debt issue where people can convert into Bitcoins, but that price is a lot higher. Okay, that price is a lot higher to convert that Bitcoin. The only way they're gonna get people to convert that Bitcoin is if they can do one thing. They can do one thing right now and say, listen, price is 253. You can convert all that debt at 200. If they convert that into 200, the price of this thing will fall to 200 very quickly. But once they convert it and they sell it, what they're going to do is they're going to try to sell this thing off very quickly, so they can take those, take that money, and they're going to try to sell it into the market. But the problem is, if when they announce that, this price will already go to 200 very quickly. So those guys, people who are convertibles, they might not even have a chance to sell up here. What they will normally do, if they give them a price to convert at 200, they will try to sell it very quickly at a higher price. But the problem is everybody else is going to realize that too. All the buyers all of a sudden will start buying at 200 instead of above that, and that will drop the price very quickly to 200. Okay, everybody knows what I'm talking about there. Again, if these convertible prices are like 300 or 400, they can go vote that what do you call those directors, they can have a vote and tell them, hey, you guys can convert it at 200. That's usually a death usually for a company when they do that. But if they have no other options, they might have to. So be very careful if you're holding Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin. If you're holding this company, if they vote to convert those shares at 200 or 150, you're going to have an instant drop off this stock. Okay, that is another warning to you guys if you're taking a risk in this one. I'm staying away far as I can. right? But again, that could be another risk in the market if they do convert that. Everybody know what I'm talking about there? If anybody have a question, please shoot. This is from past learning experience that I went through, that what companies do. So I'm just passing it on to you so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's continue. Just shoot me a question or put it in the chat if you didn't understand what I'm talking about, so I can clarify for you. You understand next time what you're looking at. Okay. So let's continue with coin. Coin is an exchange for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. This stock I do like. Why? Because they make commission on all the buy and sells. They make crazy commissions. They charge way too much. And anybody trading on their exchange, Bitcoin and everything, a lot of people don't have any options because this is the only exchange that is sort of everybody trust, right? So they're charging their money pretty much. They're making lots of money off that. So that 319 is, watch for support here. If you're looking to buy, watch for this support here. If it breaks below 292, it can come down to very quickly over to 236. And this is really a strong support at 210. This is where this coin took off back when they put it. Remember back in May, they included this in the S&P 500. This is where it took off from. Okay. So this stock I do believe I think is good, but right now it is expensive. I would not be a long-term holder of this. Okay, coin exchange. Ethereum is I like Ethereum. This one I like. If I ever was gonna buy a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or this one, if this thing comes down far enough, I would be a buyer. This is a good spot back around 21 2K. If it ever comes down, I will be a buyer. I like the Ethereum, better technology. All the other Bitcoin stocks, cryptocurrencies are going to follow basically, Bitcoin and what happens to Bitcoin. Take a look at what's happening. Let's bring the calendar up. So exactly what's happening today. Let's go here. I just wanted to, anybody is into IT here? I just wanted to ask questions after a little bit. I want to set up a dual internet. I'll talk to you after. Let me just finish with this market update. How to set up a dual internet. Where is it? Calendar. Okay. So today we are Thursday morning. We're supposed to get another jobs report from the BLS. Remember every Thursday that job report comes out? We haven't got it. So that's another thing. This morning at 7 o'clock we had a Bank of England rate decision. And they voted 4 to 5 to keep the rates at 4%. And the reason they were saying they're keeping it at 4% is because their inflation is still above around the 3.5%. So they want to make sure the inflation doesn't get out of control if they were to bring these rates on. They have been bringing these rates down, but very slowly, right? So you can see that there. I think they will bring these rates further down to the downside as the inflation gets controlled. So what else is happening on this calendar this morning? We have Bank of Canada governor. He's going to be talking around 10:30. 10 o'clock we have the Ivy. This number here comes from, it's like a PMI number that comes in the US. PMI services, PMI manufacturing. This number comes out of the Western University at London, Ontario. They do this survey up here, which is a good thing, I think. So 55 is expansion. We'll see how bad. The last time it came in 59.5. That's telling us we're going to be, our economy is shrinking. Okay, further shrinking going on here. That we'll see at 10 o'clock in Canada. This will affect the Canadian market. It does not affect the American market at all. And at 10:30 we'll also see natural gas prices. Storage. We right now have 34 plus in the storage, and if this number is higher, obviously the price will come down. If the number is lower, obviously the price will go up. So natural gas, the winter is coming. We'll see what is. I love let's take a look at natural gas prices. Should you buy or sell? It was gone way up there the last time we checked. I played it twice. It's still sitting at $4.28. This has gone up pretty much. If it bounces, I think it should. Thing it should be sitting really at $5 range, but it has jumped really nicely to the upside. I would not chase it right now. Let it come down to about the $4 range if you're looking to buy natural gas, and I think it possibly can test this thing here. Once we get, it initially jumped, we started to get cold out there, and that's why the natural gas price jumped to where it is sitting right now. So I think let's see what the storage is. If it's less in the storage, this thing is gonna go higher, right? How far? We'll take a look at it when the price comes at 10:30. Natural gas prices. So who else is talking? Let's talk about back into the calendar. Bar. We have a former member, FOMC member, Bar, is talking at 11 o'clock. These guys will affect the market. 11 to 12, they're talking. Then we got, who's this guy? Governor. Okay, no idea who that is. Then this guy will also move the market because this guy is slated to be the next chairman of the Fed. Okay, that's what they're thinking about bringing in, Waller. So he'll be talking at 3:30 this afternoon, and he will affect the market. Okay, then that is what's going on the calendar this morning. Again, the government BLS is still shut down. We are not hearing anything from them. So let's take a look at the earnings this morning. Let's start with the market. What is going on? Let's talk about yesterday first. Who came out with earnings? McDonald's came out with earnings. Qualcomm came out with earnings. We talked about McDonald's in the morning. Let's talk about Qualcomm. So what is Qualcomm? Qualcomm initially jumped on the stock price, then it kind of settled down. I really like Qualcomm. I like the numbers. I looked at them. The stock is down. I think this is an opportunity to buy Qualcomm for long term. If you're interested, I'm not buying it yet, to be honest with you. It's but anybody that's looking to buy Qualcomm, anybody that has Qualcomm, I think you should hold on. Again, I can only tell you what I do is I would hold on. Okay, I would also be a buyer if you don't have any, maybe a small position. I like the numbers. I like what they're doing, the technology, and they're also claiming that their chip is better than NVIDIA's chip. If that is so, it will come out in the future, and if it does come out, the price will help itself back up. Remember when NVIDIA came out with chips, then Google came out with chips, and Google got the Gemini, but they were a little bit late to the party, right? But look what Google is doing now. Google is flying up there. So I think that's what will happen to Qualcomm too. Eventually, it will die down for a little while. Nobody will pay attention. Eventually, they'll wake up one day, boom, to the upside. So keep a close eye on this one. You should have a little bit in your risk, especially when you guys are 25, 30-year-olds. You should have a little bit of risk in your portfolio. I think you should buy this some little bit of this stock and put in the corner somewhere. Okay. So Qualcomm, I think it's definitely worth a hold. Robinhood came out with earnings. Robinhood was already priced a lot to the upside. I thought it was overpriced, but when it got over $100, and back over here when it was sitting at 110, it was going down. I said I don't think it's going to go up, but then it just started flying back to the upside. Again, it kind of getting overpriced. I think it's overpriced now. I still think it's overpriced, but again, they came out with earnings, great earnings. They beat the numbers, but the market cap and the look at the revenue on this one doesn't make sense. Just like Plantier, they're all overpriced. And if the market does drop, stocks like Plantier, stocks like Hood are really going to tumble to the downside if the market does come down. Stocks that have been flying to the upside are the first ones to come down good. And Plantier, Hood, these kind of stocks will come down very quickly. Okay, Hood came out. What else really stands out from yesterday?
Datadog था जी.
Datadog, D Dog.
हाँ जी.
Let's take a look at D Dog. Okay, Datadog is sitting at 154 right now.
Hourly
And
cut हुआ.
yeah, market cap, it has jumped on earnings. So again, I don't have the stock. I think Gurkeet has. Many of you guys have. Well, I know been following in the chat. So I don't personally have this stock. Again, great earnings. It jumped yesterday. It jumped again this morning. If you bought it yesterday on this earnings here, look at that. It's just flying again to the upside. So again, if you have the stock, what does it do? For those who don't follow this one here, it's monitoring analytic platform for developers information technology. So it's a technology monitoring stock. Okay, $54 billion market cap. What about the revenue? Revenue is going pretty good. All right, pretty fast. So what about earnings? Earnings are positive. Right, earnings are positive. Overall, the stock is expensive right now. If you look at these numbers, it's very expensive, but the stock is running on revenue and technology. Okay, so should you buy here? Again, if you asked me yesterday, should you buy it here on the earnings? If it gone all the way up here, I say you would be chasing it, right? But look what the stock has done. I think right now, definitely you would be chasing it, right? So be careful if you want to buy this stock. Let it come down a little bit. Let it settle down. But if you have it, if you made good money, I think it might be keep on like a tight stop to take profits in it, and then eventually buy it back if it comes down again. Okay, so that is D Dog AMSC. Hitesh has put down AMSC. Let's take a look at it.
I think भाजी Nvidia the earning एक बारी opportunity देगी taper by the
Yeah, let's we'll look after
market.
Nvidia in a minute. Let me see AMC here. So AMC is sitting at $48.40. What other day? It's kind of making a flag, but it's also looking like a little bit of head and shoulder. So be very careful. Left shoulder, right. There's a neck there, and trying to create a right shoulder here. Okay, so be careful a little bit on this stock here. What I would do is, if you have this stock, is I would draw a trend line right there and make sure this doesn't break the trend line to the downside. If it breaks the trend line to the downside, I would definitely be out of the stock. Take your profit. If it stays above here, it could push higher. Okay, and that's what technically this chart looks like. And let's take a look at the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals telling us on this stock? Okay, first of all, it's into semiconductor megawatt scale power solution. Okay, American Semiconductor. That's something a little bit different. Okay, so they are into semiconductors, but they're into power and stuff. What do the numbers look like? These numbers are higher than the previous historic numbers. That means the stock is expensive. But let's take a look at the revenue. Revenue, I don't know about this here. This is kind of a little bit negative. All of a sudden, we have a lot of revenue drop off on this one. Okay, need to find out what's going on here on the revenue side. So it kind of gave me a little bit, I don't know if I want to buy this stock, but according to that, it doesn't tell me that I should be in it. But again, I would follow this. If you have this stock, I would not be a buyer here. But if you have that stock, if it comes below the trend line, I would be, thinking about maybe selling it. Okay, but that revenue, you find out what happened to that revenue. Really have to take a look at that. So what's coming out this another actually I want to talk about Sun Life. Sun Life, all the Canadian company that came out with earnings yesterday. I think SELF. What's the ticker on Sun Life? SLF. Sorry, SLF. I used to own this company a long time ago. I don't own it. I wish I'd kept it. 61, 67. It's creating a little bit of left neckline, right shoulder. It came out with earnings. I thought the earnings were great on this one. They beat the earnings per share and revenue as well. This is a smaller version. This is of the insurance company in Canada. Both, if you look at other insurance companies, they're pretty bigger, especially Manulife, much bigger than Sun Life. So I like this stock for long term. Even if you're on the Canadian side, if you're 25, 30 years old, you should be buying this stock. Even at current price, put it away somewhere in the corner somewhere. It pays a good dividend. It's been a very good stock for a long time. Back in 2000, April 2009, this was $25. Okay, and I bought it back then. And it quickly gave me a good return. So $25. And plus, it's always been a very strong dividend pair as well. If you look at the dividend on this one here, is around 3.95%. And they've been upping the dividend. They've been increasing the dividend over time, as you can see right there. Very good company, solid company. Yeah, it's a little much smaller than Manulife. The MFC is the other ticker if you guys want to buy the other Canadian insurance company. So Intact, we talked about different insurance company we talked about yesterday. Let's talk about what came out this morning, earning wise. We had AstraZeneca come out with earnings. The stock is up. This is a pharmaceutical stock. Is an N. A lot of people follow this one. It is up this morning, 84.51. Yesterday closed at 81.15. This is earnings and outlook for their drugs. That's what's really pumping this stock to the upside. I think it's a good stock. Should you buy it? I think it's gonna go higher. It's already up this morning. It's up $3. Maybe look for a breakout around here this year, maybe on the top. That's where 87, 88 bucks. Maybe that's where you can buy it for a run. But again, I think it's a good stock. But even you can buy it here. But I would keep a tight stop if you are going to buy it here. Okay. So AstraZeneca, it is a good stock. ConocoPhillips also came out with the earnings this morning. Another very good stock. Okay, these are the stocks I wouldn't mind buying at any time, no matter. This stock has been kind of coming down to the sideways. These guys make incredible amount of money. Earnings are coming out. Actually, did come out. They missed the revenue, 14.76 billion, and earning per share they almost beat there. I think it's an opportunity for companies like this one here to buy on the dip, to add long term. Because if you look at the long term charts, they're pretty steady performers. And this one also, I believe, has a good dividend here, 3.56. While you're sitting there and waiting for this stock to go up, you're earning a dividend. Long term, you should have a little bit of money in here as well. ConocoPhillips, it's a very good stock. Okay, numbers are good too on this. Airbnb, today is Thursday. It's coming out with earnings. So let's take a look at this. I'm holding this stock. So let's take a look if this stock is gonna beat earnings today. It's coming after it's been going sideways. I talked about this stock. I own it from $95. I still have some shares in it. I'm looking to buy more shares in this company. Okay, so I talked about it before. They did their IPO back in 2021, and you would say, hey, this stock is going sideways. It's not performing. You're right. You're 100% right. But I like the technology these guys do. Right? Everybody knows what Airbnb does here, so I don't have to explain it to you. But I do have to explain to you why this stock is going sideways. Okay? So what's been happening in all the major cities around the world is basically these guys open up a shop. If you have a house, you could have put it on Airbnb. You can put your house on Airbnb, and it's like a business. So person moves in, they finish their trip, they move out. But if you rent a house, people don't look at all the problems people had. So a lot of people, what they started doing was started to convert their houses into Airbnb. And when they started converting their houses to Airbnb, they took a lot of the housing out of the market for rental for people who are in the city who want to rent houses. And the rents went up. And because there were a limited number of people who were renting the houses up, and the rents went up. So what each city has done, especially New York, and I believe there are a lot of other cities in the U.S. has done, now what they're saying is you can rent your house out, Airbnb, you can't put it on, but you have to be living there. Okay, those are the rules they're putting in, and that's why Airbnb their revenue has been hurt a little bit. The growth has been hurt in the company a little bit. That's why they've been hurt. But eventually, this company is buying a lot of its own properties because they have a huge cash flow. They're buying properties like vacation properties. They are renting their own properties out. Eventually, they'll have enough for their own properties that they can rent out, that they won't have matter with these laws and stuff like that. So what I mean by rental properties, they're not converting into residential property. It's going to be more like hotels and stuff like that. Okay, so that's what they're doing, and I believe one day, sooner or later, this stock will start going back to the upside. So that the growth, the revenue should be a lot higher on this company. That's why this revenue here. Look how they were growing pretty quick. Then all of a sudden, the revenue started going flat, and I do think this is going to start going back to the upside, and that's why this company has been going sideways for the last year or two, to a year and a half. That's why they went sideways basically. Okay, so you understand why I'm still holding Airbnb, and you understand why I think you should buy Airbnb. I think you should buy Airbnb. I think it's cheap. I think if it comes down further, especially around the $80 range, I don't think it's going to come down there. I'd say maybe $100 range. If it does come down there, I think it's a buy. And the earnings here are coming out after, and we'll see what the revenue will look like, whether they beat or not. I'm not gonna take a risk on playing on earnings. I don't. You guys all know that I don't take a risk on that stuff. Okay, so Airbnb, guys, definitely put it on your list, especially if you're 25, 30 years old. Buy it, and put it in the corner somewhere. Okay. So anybody else have a question? Any questions? Any other stocks?
By
Because
Dash.
oh, sorry, which one? Pardon?
Dash.
What's the ticker?
DoorDash.
Uh, can you put a ticker, please? My ear is buzzing. I just can't seem to get clear. Dash, do dash. Okay, dash. Okay, this is a food delivery and stuff. Stock came out with earnings. I think the missed revenue not revenue, earnings per share. Revenue was fine. Stock is coming down, sitting at 213 bucks this morning. Should you be buying? That's probably the question everybody's asking. Should you buy here? Let's take a look at what the numbers look like. Remember, this is going on revenue. This is pretty good. Uh, Earnings look pretty good. Number statistics, they're coming down from the previous number. Historical numbers pretty much the same. Look like a pretty good. It's a growth stock. It's a $101 billion company. Revenue is around 10 billion. So it's it, you know it. I like it. It's not bad. I like the growth part of it, and I like the business there. To me, it doesn't impress me enough where I should go. I'm gonna go buy it. Okay, it has to, like, I like stocks that impress me. I like to buy into those stocks, but it's not impressing me enough. It's already $100 billion company. It's got about $10 billion in revenue. It's mostly a delivery company that many other companies are in competition with, right? So Uber Eats is the other one. There's a whole bunch of other ones that are out there. Skip the dishes. There's so many of them. So lots of competition in this field. Okay.
The JP Morgan.
JP Morgan, yes, definitely. We can take a look at this as a bank, right? Let's take a look at JPM. Okay, JP Morgan, again, they came out with great earnings. I like this company. It's the largest bank in the US. They had great earnings. This is where I would look for a break above here if I want to buy around 318. Pre-market is sitting at 311. I'm just worried about the whole market because it's being a little bit overpriced. That's what worries me about this stock. A lot of those stocks that have gone up. So, but Bank of America came out with that say list the other day, you know, they came out with that research, and they're saying 15% growth each of the next 3-4 years. And if you're going to get 15% growth, I think the stocks like this will be like $400 to $500 in the next few years. But I like the stock. But again, JP Morgan, I would look for a breakout above here at 318 bucks. That's where I would. And the numbers are fantastic on this company. I like the revenue growth. Everything, is fun. I looked at it very closely before. I like it. I like it. I like it. If you,
तो buying हो रही मुझे.
yeah. But again, just be careful of the market. That's all I would love to buy it that cheaper. This stock here went 99 bucks right there when it was sitting here, and I bought some and I got out of it very I took a profit too quick. Again, anyways, it's a good company. I love to see it come down and buy it from there. Take a look at CART quickly. Maple Bear. This is more a technology company. We followed for a while. We've been following this company from right here. When we give it a buy here, then we give another buy here, then we give it another buy here. So what is it doing now? So if you wanted to buy, this is mostly for trading, guys. It's a very high risk stock, okay? But if you want to buy, you want to buy above this trend line, okay? You can draw another trend line right here. This is another trend line that works real well. This one here, okay? Couple of trend lines. We want the price above to buy this one. Remember, this is a very risky stock. They're into online application that offers groceries delivery and pickup. And again, the revenue has been going very good. But what about the numbers? The numbers, actually, I would take it out. Last time I was checking this, it was kind of high risk. But I would say it's more like a medium risk now. So I would love to, the numbers don't look bad. I would love to buy this stock if it gets above the trend line. Look for the trend line break. It's not bad stock. It's not really. It might be coming to a support here around the $35 range here. And look for it to pop above this here. I would definitely be a buyer. We did it here, here, and here. And this might work here to the upside again. So, CART. ANET. We talked about ANET before. Anybody bought ANEP yesterday? This is a good company, Arista Networks. I like it. Quickly, I like the chart. Let's go into the numbers quickly. Statistics numbers are very reasonable compared to if you compare them to historical numbers. And this is where they are making money on revenue. And the market cap is around 176 billion. I like this company. I like it because of the data centers and stuff where they're spending a lot of money. It has come down a little bit. Again, you can draw another trend line right here. Hopefully this will bounce to the upside. So yeah, if it stays above there, I would hold on, but be careful if it comes below that. PNAW. I'm going very quickly through here, last, because I want to, it's, what time is it? 9:02. I want to give Harvey to update the market before 9:30. Okay, 210 sitting to the downside. Chart looks great, but let's take a look at the numbers. Statistics, numbers are expensive. Yeah, the stock has run up quite a bit. Revenue is growing pretty good. Market cap 140. It is fairly valued here, so be careful buying it. Let it come down. If it gives you a nice dip, that's where I would be looking at it. SCHW is definitely a buy. This one is Charles Schwab Corporation. It is a buy. I like the stock. It's especially watch this trend line. We draw this trend line the other day. But you definitely, I would buy it if it breaks above here. I have the stock. I'm holding it. Okay. Dual, I would run away from this one right now. Big time going to the downside. Broke yesterday after the earnings to the downside. Guidance was terrible on this stock. We looked at it yesterday again. Look for a support to come around. I don't know. It's probably all the way down here. Could it come to 71? No, first support should be around 163 bucks. It's already at 189. I would not buy. This is a falling knife right now, right? I would not put, there you go. I would not put my hand underneath it right now. BP. I would just stay, if you like the stock, watch it for a turnaround to the upside, but not like this. Not like this. You're taking a big risk in this. SGHC, I'll look on SGHC. SGHC, okay, right there. Okay, this Super Group Limited. Okay, this stock, let's go to the day chart. Yeah, stock has bounced off a nice dip here to 1222. I like the chart the way it ran up. So this little dip was maybe a buying opportunity to punch back up. But let's take a look at the financials, see if they're viable. 6.1 even pays a dividend. They're into digital gaming, which I like digital gaming portion of the, and they're also on the online sport betting. I like it. Looking at the numbers, looking at the statistics here, numbers are reasonable. Revenue growth is growing, almost close to 2 billion. Market cap is still around 6. Yeah, it's a reasonable price stock. Okay, and like I said, it give a nice dip buying opportunity here. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna leave it there. BA is cheap. I know, definitely a buy. BBA is a buy. Nvidia, we'll take a look at it more after doing the market hours to see where it's going, and we'll take a look at if I missed anything or if you guys post any other stocks. Well, I'll take a look at it after. Harvey needs to do the market update before 9:30, so I will let him do that, and I will see you guys right after.
All right, good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is having an amazing Thursday so far. Ready to kick off a new day in the markets. We'll see what today brings. We'll see. This market so far has been pretty neutral, sideways type of action.